Hey guys, so this is my misting setup for the air conditioner. I was going to test it out and see if it's worth it doing it. My house has two AC units, so they split in half. This is the new one that we just put in last year when we moved in. We went from a 3-ton to a 3.5 ton unit, so this one's brand new. This is for the living rooms, this is for the bedrooms side, and it's really good. It's really efficient. It's a 14 to 15 series, and it only runs 15 minutes to 20 minutes at a time, and it's able to keep up, and then it will stop. However, this one's for the living room, the family room, and the kitchens, so it's about 1,500 square feet for that, and then another 1,500 for the other units. So my house is almost 3,000 square feet. But the thing with this old units, still running on the old one, I think it's R10 or so. It's very inefficient. It pulls as much power as the 3.5 tons, and it's a 3-ton. But the problem is it can run for hours. It can run for an hour and a half and still not get down to the temp that we set. So it's not that efficient. So what I was going to do is, and also I have this unit running on my solar, with my solar setup. So the solar is helping out, around 1,500 watts to 2,000 watts at noon times. And this thing is pulling about 3,000 to 3,500 watts when it's running. And it's solar, it's offsetting about 2,000 watts. So I was going to try to see if I can get the power usage down even more. So I've been saving the condenser, the water that's coming out of it, and that's been trying to do my test by just pouring in the condensed water in, see if it cools it down and see how much less power that it would use. So if I pour like half a gallon to a gallon of the safe water, it will drop about 500 to 600 watts for probably 10 minutes before the water evaporate and get back to hot again. So it works really nice, right? So if you can drop 600 watts, that's quite a lot. That's 20% of the total power usage. And then it also dropped the temperatures inside the house. So yesterday I went out, and this is my old misting system. Went out and bought some more nozzle, and I hooked it up. It's going to do a test. So the water here in Arizona is very hard, and it has a lot of calcium in it. As you see right here, this is the side that I tried to do a test it and just spray with the regular water, and look what happened to it. It started getting white, so I stopped doing that right away. So I know that I'm going to need a lot of probably one or at least a few of the calcium filters. So I know that can be reduced down. The only reason why I'm doing this, or I'm experienced with this, is because this is an old unit. It's 15 years old, and I was going to see if it's going to destroy the coil, and if it does, then I'll just have to replace it because it's very inefficient and it's probably going to last another year or two. Anyway, that's why I'm doing all this tests. Unfortunately, my results are very negative, and I don't think I'll go through with it. Here's the reason why. So yesterday I put in 5 nozzles, so 1 over there, 2, 3, 4, and then another one over here. So when the misting system was going, I should have done this with the video yesterday, and I have my clamps meter right here. So regularly when this thing's running without the mist, it will pull about 13.5 amps at 240 volts. So I had the misting going, and as soon as I turn on the misting, I see it does drops, but it didn't drop anywhere near the 600 watts that I was getting before when I was just splashing the water all over the place on it. So it was only with the mist system, 5 nozzle, it was only dropping about 150 to 200 watts max. Okay, so let's say it drops 200 watts, and then the temperatures was only going down 1 degree 1 to 2 degrees. I was shooting the temps right here at the pipe, see if it drops in anything, and it only drops 1 or 2 degrees. I don't think it's going to make that much of a difference. And then compared to the result that we're actually pouring a lot of water, like, you know, get the whole thing wet, I was getting 600 watts reduction, but unfortunately with the misting system, I was only getting 200 watts. So I think at this point my experiment has failed, and I don't think it's worth it to follow through with it. The reason being is that the calcium filter is $15, and you have to replace it every 3 to 6 months, depending on how hard your water is. Unfortunately, here in Arizona, the water is as hard as it can be, and there's a lot of calcium deposit, so you probably have to replace it within 3 months. So $15 for 3 months, and considering the maintenance on the misting nozzle and all that craps, I don't think it's worth it. Because the kilowatts hour that we pay here are 13.5 cents per kilowatts in the summer. So I don't think it will save that much. It's just going to cost probably more trouble than saving, because you think about it, 200 watts, and this thing might run 5 hours a day, and that's only 1 kilowatt, and 1 kilowatt's only 13 cents. So you save 13 cents a day. So, you know, it's not going to be as much as the calcium filters and the maintenance. And then there is a potential that it's going to destroy the coil. Even though this unit's old, but you probably shouldn't do it on a brand new unit like that one. You know, there's no way I'm going to put it on that one. So I don't think it's worth it. You know, I thought it was going to work. I mean, it will work if you have enough water. Let me rephrase that. It will work if you put a lot of water through it. So you think about it. This thing, each of this nozzle said that they will use half a gallon of water per hour. So I have 5 right there, so it's probably using, you know, 3 gallons an hour. So 3 gallons an hour, and this thing runs 5 hours. That's quite a lot more water than you would think. But then even if you're doing that, it only saves you 200 watts per hour. And if you want the result of my 600 watts, you probably need at least 10 nozzle, and then that's going to even use twice the amount of water. So it's probably going to use, you know, 20 gallons, 30 gallons for 5 hours. So I don't think it's worth it. So that's why I'm not going to follow through. It's going to do a whole video thing, but unfortunately with my testing, I think it's just going to be a waste of time. Might be even make more sense to put, you know, 2 more of the solar panels up and get an extra 600 watts instead of trying to, you know, save this thing or make it run more efficient. I think the only way is just to wait until it dies and then buy, you know, a new unit that it's more efficient, and it will use less power, and it will be colder and it will run less. So alright, so that's my 2 cents, and I know that there's a lot of different opinions about this. So what I get out of this is, if you use water to evaporate, you do cool the coil down, and then you definitely is going to reduce power, but you have to use a lot of water, not just the misting system. You have to constantly keeping the coil like 90% wet before it cools itself down enough to save enough energy. But if you don't, then, you know, it's not gonna be enough, and it's not gonna be worth it. 5 misting nozzles is not gonna be enough. So I am going to go and return the little valve that I bought yesterday, the little 24 valve. I was gonna hook that up to the air conditioner coils and then have it automatically turn the misting on, but I was gonna go return that because obviously it's not gonna benefit me too much. So anyway, see you guys out. I will post another update on my solar stuff pretty soon. Thanks for watching.